Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Unknown Mysteries. I'm your host, Layla Johnson, and today we're going to be talking about Linda and Charlotte Mulhall, also known as the Scissor Sisters by the media, who killed and dismembered their mom's boyfriend, Farah Noor, in March 2005. Farah, who was killed with a Stanley knife wielded by Charlotte and struck in the head with a hammer by Linda, following a confession with sisters and their mother. Early years, the Mulhalls were from Care Gardens, a working class area in Tulin, South Denland. Their parents, John and Kathleen Mulhall, raised a family of 3 boys and 3 girls. Kathleen was originally Warren before she got married and was from the traveling community. John Mulhall allegedly abused Kathleen. Their marriage broke down and Kathleen entered a relationship with Farah Noor in 2008. And Farah also alleged abused Kathleen. The personal life. Linda Mulhall was 30 years old at the time of the killing. She was unemployed. She had left school early and had 4 kids. The relationship with the father of her children broke up. She got into another relationship with immediately with a guy called Wayne Kinman, who frequently abused her. In one case, beat the kids with an electric flex. The abuse was later investigated. The children were taken into custody by social services, while Wayne served a 7-year prison sentence for his cruelty towards the children. Linda, meanwhile, had a history of alcohol abuse and suffered from an addict to heroin. So she won prior conviction in 1993 for laundering. Charlotte was 21 when she killed and the killing took place. Like her sister, she had a history of drugs and alcohol abuse. She had a number of minor previous convictions for criminal damage to public orderly offense. She was also charged with criminal destruction. She was sentenced under the Prosecution Act in October 2005. She was also involved in prostitution. During the trial, they described the girls' upbringing as troubled and tough. The victim, Farah Noor, was 40 at the time of his death. He arrived in Ireland in December 1996. He claimed to be Samoan, calling Samoan Schmidt, whose family has been killed in the Morgan during the Samoan-centered war. Septifying investigation revealing that he was in fact a kin and that his family was still alive. Department of Justice equalized the law reformed order that he had been deported, but he's been appealing and was given Irish citizenship in March 1990 because he had became the father of an Irish-born child. He had 4 previous convictions for offenses including intoxication, threatening, abuse behavior, and assault. In 1997, he raped a mentally disabled 16-year-old Chinese girl. She later gave birth to a son. 2 other women he had children by, both described him as being raped by him. Farah had faced 8 charges of disorderly and assault, one involving sexual assault in which a knife was found at the scene. He was convicted on all 3 offenses but never served jail time. He lived in a number of areas in Denman, as well as the inner city before moving in with Kathleen. Described him as a private violent towards women. The event surrounding the killing. The killing took place on a flat Kathleen was renting in a house, a Richmond Cottage, Summer Hill, on March 20th, 2005. This was on a public holiday, St. Patrick's weekend. On the day of the killing, Linda, Charlotte, and their mother in Phaedra Knowles had been drinking heavily in Denman City Central. They returned to Kathleen's flat where the women took ecstasy. Kathleen crushed a tablet into the victim's drink so they would all be buzzed at the same time. Linda and Phaedra were sitting on the couch with Kathleen sitting on the arm. With Knowles started touching Linda in a sexual way. He spoke into her ear, putting his arm around her waist and refusing to let go. Kathleen then started to scream at him, and an argument took place where Kathleen was alleged to have instructed them to just kill him for me. Charlotte picked up a steely knife and struck Phaedra across the throat, inflicting a wound that sent him to the ground. Linda then picked up a hammer and hit him on the back of the head a number of times. Their mother looked on but didn't participate. Phaedra was stabbed at least more than 20 times. Linda and Charlotte then dragged Phaedra's corpse into the bathroom where they began to dismember the remains. Phaedra's head, limbs, and penis was serving up a kitchen knife and hammer. They put a towel around his legs to stream the flow of blood. The dismemberment took a number of hours, and the body parts was placed in a black plastic bag and a sports bag before being disflown of the Royal Canal. This took the three women several trips. They did not throw the head in there, preventing identification. The head was brought by the bus to Totland, where they walked through the Square Shopping Center to Shine Walsh Memorial Park. They walked to where Charlotte dug a hole with a knife to bury the head. Kathleen threw the knife and the hammer into a nearby pond. A number of days later, Linda alleged returned to the park, dug up the head using her son's school bag. She transferred it to the field in the Kelgans estate, Thailand, where she broke it up with the hammer before burying it again. The investigation. The killing only came to light 10 days later when Phaedra's leg with a sock on the end was seen floating in the canal a few hundred yards from the car park. Scuba divers retained most of the rest of his body in 7 pieces. Tracking his identification through media presence, Phaedra was only identified when someone recognized a t-shirt on the recovering torso. That key witness, a Soho man who was the first to contact the missing Phaedra, was with 3 Mulhall women with a pay something reward by the criminal stopper. Phaedra's head and penis was never found. The sisters and their parents were arrested in August but denied any knowledge of the killing. A number of weeks later, Linda contacted investigative officers admitting to her involvement, took a violent statement from her at her home in Tallinn in August 2005. Until this has been made limited progress in this case. When searching for Mulhall's flat in Summer Hill, they found bloodstains that they were later confirmed to match Phaedra's DNA. After Linda confessed, Kathleen fled the country in September 2005, with unable to locate her again until January 2008. She lived in England. Court case. The murder trial of Linda and Charlotte Mulhall. They were both charged with murder and pled not guilty to the Center Criminal Courts. Their trial took place in October 2006. Linda pled not guilty to manslaughter while her sister Charlotte was found guilty on the murder of Phaedra. Linda jury agreed of her defense of prosecution. Charlotte was given the maximum of life sentence, and Linda was only given 15 sentence for manslaughter. The judge agreed that Linda's heroin addict had in fact tried to hail the trial by refusing to take methadone, left her to appeal, and refused for both sentencing. Linda appealed the several of her sentencing on the ground that she was passed through psyche and protocol report. That appeal failed, with the courts of criminal appeal found the sentence to be agreeable. Charlotte requests leave left to appeal her conviction on the grounds that the justice can now have put pressure on the jury to reach a verdict, even though the foreman had said there were deadlocked. This failed on the grounds that the defense did not raise any obstacles to the comment during the trial, and the fact that the jury was not affected by any alleged undoing pressure to reach the court. The court case against Kathleen was involved to return to Ireland in February 2008. Other offenses was charged with 2 counts of giving false information about Phaedra's whereabouts and withhold information which she knew or believed would be considered in prosecuting her daughters for Phaedra's murder. She was also charged with impulsive arrest and murder investigation. She pled guilty to helping to clean up the crime scene to evidence. Kathleen was served to 5 years in prison in May 2009. The fallout and aftermath. Mulhall family. The girl's father, John Mulhall, killed himself in December 2005. He was not to believe have been involved in the killing. Linda turned to alcohol and slit her wrist, causing her to spend over a week in a psychiatric hospital. In April, she claimed to have a fellow inmate that she had in fact smashed Phaedra's head and dismembering the fragments in a rubber dipping in the Phoenix Park. This first disclosure of where Phaedra's head ended up was referred to the final secret of the Scissor sisters by Colin Looney in Evening Herald. Charlotte caused a few national conspiracies in 2008 with a photographer of her holding a knife to the throat of a male prisoner in Mulhall prison, where leaked to the press. As a result, security in Ireland prison was increased and Charlotte was moved to the Lamb-Wick prison, the only other prison Irish prisoners convict a women's unit. The girl's brother, James, pled guilty to robbery of 2 prostitutes, claiming that he robbed the women to support his own 6 kids and his Linda's 4 children, who he took on after she went to jail. Released. Linda was released in 2008 and has served over 12 years of a 15-year sentence. She was tracked down in July 2008 by the Sunday World Eugene Madison to her new home in Kent. She told him she wanted to get on with her life and didn't want to comment anything further. As that wraps up another episode, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Stay tuned for my next episode.